Thank you very much for joining us on the Media Review segment of Insight. I'm Eunice Johnson, and today on this segment, we will be talking about the bane of journalism practice in Nigeria. And my guest is veteran journalist Maxwell Esegbe. He would be highlighting and analyzing different issues and challenges that journalists face in the course of discharging their duties. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Now, basically, compared to the past, today's Nigerian government, it kind of appears that Nigeria centers her journalism practice on social responsibility theory. Now, how socially responsible has the Nigerian press been?
Let me use this opportunity first and foremost to thank you and for those within the crew inviting me for this wonderful program.
It's a pleasure.
To be honestly objective, you people are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you very much.
Coming to your question, I think to some extent, the journalists in this country are sociable. But I want to highlight one thing. Environment plays an important role. If journalist actually is to effectively, efficiently do his or her job well, if the environment is not conducive, then there is problem along the line, because the environment creates that avenue for journalists to operate very well. Take for instance, some journalists find it increasingly difficult to go somewhere in Maiduguri because of the terrible situation there. They are not able to operate. So these are some of the things. Not only Maiduguri, there are some areas that journalists cannot visit, and if they are not able to visit those areas, you tell me, how do they effectively, efficiently bring the reports to me and you here in other parts of the country? This is why I said to some extent, but the other way around, I think the government, they are doing a lot towards that area, and by the time situations are resolved, I think the journalists will be able to go in depth and report effectively well.
Okay, speaking of challenges,
yes.
Now you're a practicing journalist.
Yes.
Could you share some of your personal experiences?
Life insurance is one of them. Up till now, I must be honestly objective with you, the life insurance is not there. And if the life insurance is not there, now tell me, in some terrible situations, which the journalists need to bring information down the line, how do they go there? Because in other parts of the world, there are life insurance. I remember some years back, may he so rest in peace, the Ladi Lawal
of AIT.
Of the AIT then, introduced life insurance a bit. At that time, you know, the Naira was very, very powerful. Not now, but I hope very soon things will go all right. So if the Naira is improved and the journalists are credited in the right way, like life insurance, then the journalists can go in depth. You know, the cable news network, CNN, they send their correspondent outside terrible situations, and they go and cover reports and bring it to those who really listen to their reports. So these are some of the things I think the journalists are facing. The other one is the environment. The environment is not too conducive for journalists to really operate. Most of the journalists are astonished. They are afraid because the actual things to work with are not there. They have the families. They will tell you that when their life insurance their life are insured, they can go anywhere. Some of those things are the difficulties, challenges, which I think the authorities need to correct. The NUJ, for example, the International Organization of Journalists and the IFJ need to put in order so that journalists can go anywhere and cover anywhere in the world.
Okay,
yes.
You spoke about life insurance.
Yes.
Now, aside life insurance, generally based on the NUJ, the policies of the NUJ, is job security guaranteed for a typical Nigerian journalist?
It's not. It's not. That is why you find some a certain number of journalists moving from one media to another, because they are looking for greener pastures. I now remember a particular NUJ president that was saying journalists need to be changing their jobs because they are not well paid. If they are well paid, nobody will ever venture to say he or she is leaving the media organization where they are working. But because they are not paid, the salaries are not well remunerated. That is the problem. You see journalists jumping from one media to another. So I will use this opportunity, the NUJ, they should do a lot. And so where each media organizations are working, they should try as much as possible to pay journalists effectively well, so that they will be able to do their job well. And if they are well paid, they can go anywhere. They can even mind, they don't mind to sleep in the office till the following day, because the money is there, incentive is there, encouragement is there, the commitment is there, the determination is there. They can go anywhere.
Okay,
that's the truth.
So how is NUJ and every other body that is saddled with the responsibility of regulating
accreditation of,
exactly.
Yes, they are.
So how are they handling the issue of quackery in journalism?
They are doing a lot. They are doing a lot. I remember not too long ago, the president of the NUJ addressed a world press conference saying categorically that those fake journalists will be fished out. And I think they are doing a lot. The NUJ, honestly, they are doing a lot. And I think very soon, all these quacks, fake journalists, would have no place in our social domain.
Okay,
yes.
So what are those notable things that you've noticed in the foreign media
yes.
that are not so present in the Nigerian media?
We talked earlier about the environment. That is one. Number two, we talk about life insurance. Life insurance. Most practicing journalists outside this country, although there may be one or two things, but they have life insurance. I remember I worked with one of the journalists in UK some years back, with BBC to be precise. She was right inside the pit and was reporting, because her life was insured. Her life was insured, and anything, she's ready. But here in this country, the journalists cannot go inside the pit and start reporting anything, because they will tell you they are afraid. At the end of the day, what will happen to their families? What will happen to those their immediate relations? These are some of the things we are talking about. So I also think the NUJ, they are doing a lot on that aspect. But more needs to be done to correct these issues.
Okay. Apparently, we're in a digital age,
yes.
and things keep evolving. Now, would you say the Nigerian media is up to speed with digital journalism?
Yes, they are doing that.
In what ways?
Most of the journalists today, they are carrying their laptops, systems, and do their work. And that's why you find some journalists today, each time they are in one assignment or the other, you find them with their laptop. And right there, they are sending their stories to their different editors and reporters and sub-editors. And that is the basic truth. Unlike some years back, when some journalists don't even have what they call laptop. They have their papers, their biros, and what have you. Now, this time around, it's paperless. So you have to venture into computers, into laptops, into systems where assignment is being taken up, and you are writing, you are reporting straight away to other parts of the world. And I think they are doing a lot, but more need to be done.
Okay,
yes.
When you say more needs to be done,
yes.
in what particular areas?
Because most of the journalists may not afford to have laptop. That is one. Some of them, when they are not well paid, you know how much a laptop will cost. So they expect that most of where they are working should be able to provide them with this facility to do their job effectively well. But along the line, when even salaries of workers of these journalists are not being paid, now you tell me, how can they afford to give them laptops, tape recorders, midgets, everything to work with? These are some of the things why I said more needs to be done.
Okay, so
yes.
it all still boils down to welfare issue.
Welfare issue.
Okay,
yes.
So what are those other factors now, holistically speaking from a general point of view? What are those other factors that constitute setbacks in the Nigerian journalism environment?
Training, and training. I remember Prince Tony Momo, one time Minister for Information, during Babangida's regime, if my memory can serve me right, he said, Mass Media Council decree, when people were hustling, they want to become a journalist by all means. He said, you must have certain basic paper capabilities
I think we should
before
leave
you
it
can
at
become
that
a journalist.
because of time. Yes, we would just pick that word training, which is one of those factors that constitutes setbacks in the Nigerian journalism environment. My guest has been veteran journalist Maxwell Esegbe, and we've been talking about the bane of journalism practice in Nigeria. Thank you very much. That's pretty much it on the Media Review segment. Thanks for your company.
Very interesting. It's time to go.
Yes, and I particularly was interested in the part of the INEC being interested in the issue of persons living with disability, and it was quite a good one there. Yeah.
The fellow said, beyond just the fact that it's about for those living with disabilities, it is a project all Nigerians should embrace.
Should key into,
because
exactly.
At the end of it, if difficult to reach areas are attended to, even those of us who don't have physical disabilities will also benefit.
would also, so somehow it cuts across everyone. That's it for today's episode of Insight. Thank you very much for being part of the program. I remain Eunice Johnson.
On behalf of all of us, always be there with Insight. Bye-bye.